Hi, hello. I just got done with my summer program, so there will hopefully be some reaction videos coming out soon. Anyway, in the meantime, I want to talk about Taemin. So there is a new Taemin song and a new album coming out. The new single is coming out on the 4th, so on Tuesday. Taemin, is releasing this new song. The song is going to be called Two Kids, whereas the album is going to be called Never Gonna Dance Again. Now, I thought this was really interesting. He's also releasing the album in 3 parts. This is labeled as a prologue single. I assume it's somewhere along the lines of pre-release, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm really excited for this. Now, Taemin is releasing a song called Two Kids. He first teased this by posting random Getty images of 2 white children baking and eating ice cream on his Instagram story. Those pictures didn't really make any sense, and then he posted an emoji of a boy and a girl. This doesn't really add up. Now, this made absolutely no sense until he, revealed the title of his song to be Two Kids, which cleared things up a bit. Now, what didn't make any more sense was that he started releasing pictures of himself that were not relating to kids. They were basically sexy images of himself. He released some black and white images with fake tattoos, hand jewelry, etc. He also released a color image where he has his shirt pulled up over his face like this. These images were really interesting, and again, none of them had anything to do with kids or 2 kids. So, I thought this was really interesting when I saw it. Now, there's that, and then there's also the title of the album, which is Never Gonna Dance Again. Now, when I heard that, I instantly thought of the song Careless Whisper by George Michael. Now, this song, obviously, the line is Never Gonna Dance Again. I'm never gonna dance again. My guilty feet have gotten their rhythm. And yeah, that song is pretty iconic, so it's kind of hard for me to separate that lyric from the song. In other words, hearing the phrase never gonna dance again, I'm naturally going to think of Careless Whisper, and Taemin is probably aware of this. I mean, obviously he's inspired by Michael Jackson. He knows his 80s music. Now, obviously, this has to be intentional. I don't think he's just randomly calling his album Never Gonna Dance Again and not expecting us to not think of Careless Whisper, because that just doesn't make sense. And yeah, I think this has to be intentional. So I just found that to be really interesting. Now, I'm not going to read the lyrics to the whole song because it's not that big of a deal. Now, Careless Whisper, in essence, is a breakup song. And the part here, that's the chorus, is the full stanza. I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet have gotten their rhythm, though it's easy to pretend. I know you're not a fool. I should have known better than to cheat a friend and waste the chance that I've been given, so I'm never gonna dance again the way I danced with you. So yeah, I thought this was really interesting phrasing. And at first, I was a little bit alarmed, thinking that Taemin was quitting dance or something, that he was saying he was quitting dance, but then I realized this is a sentiment of a breakup song. This is basically something that, can be said in a breakup song. Never gonna dance again the way I danced with you, and the sense of guilt that's going on there. But then there's the 2 kids thing, which doesn't make any sense. There's an odd combination of 2 kids combined with these lyrics, combined with the images. Now, the images don't really make a lot of sense at first. I was really confused about these images. Like I said, they seem to be sexy, and they don't really have anything to do with kids, at all. So I'm confused. I don't really know what these images have to do with kids or having 2 kids. For instance, this image right here is an image of Taemin with his shirt like this. And there is a glare on the screen, which is making this impossible to see. Yeah, there you go. So there's Taemin with the glare on his shirt. He's wearing his shirt up like this over his mouth, okay? So that was one picture, and then the other one was this, which is a very more kind of sexy black and white image. Notice he has a lot of hand tattoos and jewelry and stuff on his hands. Now those were the pictures that draw my attention. Also, this hand pose right here. Now these really caught my attention. There's also this picture, because I was remembering the part where he has a shirt over his face right here, which is just really hard to see because the picture is in yellow, unfortunately. Maybe if I black and white toned it, I would be able to see it better, because I feel like that could actually be helpful. But, Taemin, wearing this shirt over his neck like that, I thought that was really interesting. Now, this is something that I didn't make the connection at first, but then once I saw it, this is something that is very common for Jeonyeon to have done. So this picture right here, now, what's even weirder about this picture is the hand jewelry, the stuff he's wearing on his hands, and in addition to the shirt. Now, if that was a one-time thing, that's whatever, but there's more examples of this, like this picture right here. There are really a lot of examples. The OP2 album cover, there's a lot of examples of this. It's really frequent. Like, I can find a number of different pictures of Jeonyeon wearing a shirt that way or doing something to cover his mouth or his face. I don't know why, but it's just a thing that I found. So, I think it's worth noting. Now, again, more examples of this is this picture right here, which is impossible to see because it's white, but yeah. This picture, again, it's too light to see, but it's yellow. This picture right here, and this picture, which is a little bit different, he's just holding a book or something to his face, so it's not quite the same thing, but still interesting regardless. Now, again, these particular images really, have a certain vibe about them. Taemin is giving off this same vibe by doing this thing of his shirt. Well, he also posted an image of himself wearing the same outfit, but I just don't know what to do with this image. This image is disturbing. His mouth, like, what the fuck, Taemin? What the fuck are you doing? It's kind of impossible to see, but yeah, I don't know what to make of this. But yeah, but anyway, that weird outfit aside, going back to the black and white pictures that I was referring to a minute ago, these specific black and white pictures are about, this picture right here in particular. This one really caught my attention. Now, I said there's also this one, which isn't as interesting, but those two pictures specifically caught my attention. Now again, I'm going back into my saved photos here. We're going to look at some more pictures of Taemin in the black and white pictures. Again, these type of poses, this is a slightly different pose, but again, the one that really grabbed my attention was this one. Now, you see all these of Taemin. Now, I also was noticing the photo shoots from Jeonyeon's single Crazy. Now, this is the cover, which doesn't really have anything to do, but it is a black and white image. But then you have stuff like this, and specifically this hand pose right here. This is actually a GIF. And yeah, I noticed this when I was watching. The black and white aesthetics, the makeup, the hand jewelry, this is from Everybody era, but still, this is something that I noticed abundantly. I don't know what this finger ring is, but again, these types of things, Taemin is wearing, what is he wearing? He's wearing this thing around his neck in the one picture, but then in this picture, he has less on his fingers, although he does have a number of rings, but he also has a bunch of fake tattoos. I'm assuming these are fake, because I seriously doubt that he's going to have those tattoos for the rest of his life. But, we've got the eyeliner, we've got the hand pose, we've got everything. So now we basically have three components. We have the title, Two Kids, Jeonyeon, and the title, Never Gonna Dance Again. These are basically the three components of what the heck is going on here. Now, I thought it was really interesting, and I was thinking, as a joke, we were all joking about Taemin secretly having kids, of course, as a joke. Now I do think that if we're tying all of this together, how does this connect to anything? Well, at the end of the day, we're not going to know, but here's what I think. So, Two Kids, Taemin was actually 14 when SHINee debuted. Jeonyeon was 18, which is technically not a kid. However, Taemin may have been younger. They both may have been younger. They probably started training before debut, obviously. So, they probably knew each other when they were like 12 or something, or 12 and 16 or something like that. So, again, I'm also going off, like, international age here, just, but yeah. So, there's that little thread there. So if I think that they're the two kids being referred to. Now, the other concern, the other weird thing that doesn't make sense is the fact that it was a boy and a girl. I don't know where the ice cream comes into play at all. This still doesn't make sense. Someone made a link to Blackpink's new teasers, which I think is hilarious. I could never imagine a Taemin Blackpink collaboration, and Blackpink hasn't teased anything else about it. However, I still don't know where the ice cream comes in. I thought it was odd that it was a boy-girl emoji, because if the two kids are Taemin and Jonghyun, that doesn't really make sense. Or does it? Remember how Taemin always had a feminine image, especially back in the day? He still does, but he had the long hair back in the day and would also get teased for it. People would, you know, tease him and say that he looked like a girl, or he was gay, or whatever, which is dumb, by the way. Jonghyun wrote the song Pretty Boy for Taemin, and yeah, so I do have to talk about this, because there's a possibility that Taemin is reclaiming that identity and saying, hey, like taking the feminine side. Obviously Move was him embracing his feminine side in general. That whole choreography and song was such a mixture, such a gender-bending thing, but I feel like possibly the boy and the girl, you know, Taemin represents the, I guess, feminine side of her. Obviously, he's not actually a girl. He knows he's not actually a girl. I mean, as far as I know, if he was a girl, that's fine. I'm not, that's a topic for another time. Yeah, as far as I know, unless he's coming out as transgender, I don't think he's actually a girl. However, it still could be something that's representative. Now, there's also, the last part, the Never Gonna Dance Again part. I thought this was really odd because, again, Taemin is still dancing. He's not quitting dance. And again, I looked into the context of it, which is a breakup song, you know, like a breakup song, which doesn't make a lot of sense here. Yes, I do ship Jongtae. I do ship it. Now, we're going to talk about it because it needs to be talked about. So basically, I think that this song, you know, the lyrics that I was reading off of Careless Whisper right here, I'm never gonna dance again, guilty feet have gotten their rhythm, though it's easy to pretend I know you're not a fool. I should have known better than to cheat a friend and waste the chance that I've been given. So I'm never gonna dance again the way I danced with you. Yeah, in the song, what George Michael, I believe, is trying to convey, obviously I'm not the pop song professor over here, but I get the vibe that, you know, this girl, left him, or you know, and he feels like he missed his chance with this girl, feels guilty about something he did, whether it was cheating or something like that, and then the thing is not a flat out I'm never gonna dance period. The dance is I'm never gonna dance the way I danced with you. So never gonna dance period. Now obviously dancing is a huge part of Taemin's performance. Now obviously he's a performing artist, he also sings and does other things. Now the situation is that Taemin is, you know, a dancer first and foremost, but he's also a singer, and he's part of the group, SHINee, you know, obviously. So being part of the group, you know, you have to dance, sing, perform on stage, do whatever, dance while singing, and dancing and choreography is a huge component of a group dance, or, you know, promoting as a group. So I think that's worth noting. Now the other element is the guilt factor here, and also, which is clearly a false guilt. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go into what happened because that's not, you know, just look it up if you don't know. But, yeah, going into false guilt here, I think it's super common, even for something that is, like, not even remotely guilt. Like, there are things that I have had guilt for which are completely not my fault, and I think it's a perfectly normal feeling to have. Now, there's another part with, you know, the dancing. Now, this isn't necessarily implying a romantic relationship here. I want to be clear on that. I'm not trying to say that, you know, they were dating or something, because, like, that's not the point. Although, I do think there was something there that's, again, unrelated. What I actually think here is going on is, a feeling of, you know, this is obviously in the past tense. Now, I know it's in the present tense, I'm never gonna dance again, but I'm saying he's talking about a past experience here. Obviously, he's still dancing, he's still performing. He did perform and has performed since. He had a comeback last year, he had yeah, I mean, obviously Taemin has not quit dance, so I think this is like past tense, you know, something writing about a past experience. Now, one more thing I want to address is that before anyone jumps down my throat, I know that Taemin doesn't write all of his songs. However, there's a lot of songs that he didn't write. However, I think he works with songwriters and tells them what he wants to convey. For instance, on the last album, which was Wund, I really thought that Shadow and Monologue were really personal songs. Now, he didn't write them. I actually don't remember about Monologue, but I know he didn't write Shadow. But again, the point is that it's a song that he obviously told the songwriters what he wanted to convey in the song and performed it with a way that made it feel personal. So yeah, even if he's not directly writing this, he has a lot of creative control. The same thing with Key. Everyone yelling in the comments and saying it's just a breakup song about one of those nights, which maybe it is, maybe it isn't, maybe no one cares, maybe it literally doesn't matter because it's not that deep. But seriously, people yelling and using Key didn't write this as a counterpoint. Well, yeah, but it's not some sort of happy song. It's not Fancy by Twice, okay? But no, but for real, going back to what I was saying about Taemin here, I think the idea is, maybe he wasn't sure if he could even perform again or would be able to perform again or perform the same way, because another thing I want to talk about choreography, and this is from personal experience, it is difficult. Okay, so I used to do showcase. I used to do Irish dance for 6 years. I don't do it anymore. But I did Irish step dance, and every year we would do showcase. And we would do a showcase dance with everyone in the class. So if we had 9 people, we would base the dance around having 9 people, right? If we had 9 kids in the class, that's how they would choreograph for us. If we had 8 kids, they'd choreograph for 8 people. If they had, 14 kids, one year I actually had 14 kids, they choreograph for 14 kids. And you have to know your specific place in the dance, know what you're doing when, and that's kind of how it goes. You have to know your specific spot in the dance, and if someone, you have to basically know where you are in relation to who's around you. Basically, you have to use other people as your your grounding space, like looking, say, okay, I'm supposed to be between this person and this person. And that helps space you, and that helps do it. That's how group choreographies work. So I know from experience that when someone didn't show up to class, what we would do is usually have one of the teachers stand in, because it's really awkward to do choreography when you don't have the correct number of people. If 3 people didn't show up to class and we only had 2 teachers, that was a problem. And I'm dealing with a spider web that I found over here because but yeah, that would be a problem, and God, it's on my hand and I can't stand my life. But yes, that's something that would actually be problematic, and it's actually physically difficult, to do choreography when you don't have the right number of people. And I mentioned that with a completely, unbiased person didn't show up for class incident. This is obviously super different because there's the emotional level on top of it, but even just physically doing the steps is literally harder when you don't have your reference points. So there's that. Now, I say all that because it's just something that really reflects, you can actually see in the choreography when they would dance. I remember, I do actually love the video of them dancing everybody, 2 times as fast. I love it because Key runs away at the end and it's epic, but yeah. But for real, they did change some small things about the choreography to make it actually work because, yeah, that's what you have to do. And basically, you have to change a few things about the choreography in order to make it work. It wasn't overly changed, though, which I think is a good thing. But yeah, all of that aside, I feel like it would have been, something that was an experience. But then there's also the emotional baggage of, can I even get up and perform after this? Which, for me, that answer would be strictly no. Now, I know I say that because I'm a dumb person, but, I tend to run away from shit. When something happens to me, I tend to run away from my problems. Also, I'm getting a lot of notifications, but I digress. But yeah, those specific parts here, whether it's a romantic thing that, we dance too romantically, which I guess is the vibe that the original song is trying to convey here. But this could literally be dancing on stage in a group performance setting in this situation. This is what this could be referring to. Again, I'm not really sure what the chance has to do. First of all, not every line of Careless Whisper has to translate to this. This is just the general vibe. I think the most important line is, so I'm never going to dance again the way I danced with you. I think that is easily the most important line here. Now, I thought the guilt stuff, again, it makes perfect sense. I'm not saying it's rational or he should feel guilty, but again, it makes perfect sense. And again, this other line, It's easy to pretend I know you're not a fool. I don't really know. I kind of want to say something about that line as well, but I don't know, like, what would be the best way to approach that. But I do think that line might also connect. But yeah, so this specific set of lyrics combined with the title, combined with the idea of two kids, again, I'm not really sure where the boy and the girl come in, but combined with the imagery, the image teasers that we have been getting now, I think that this comeback, or at least this part of this comeback, is about Jonghyun. Now, other thing I have to say is that I could be reading completely into this. He could just be stylizing that way just for fun, or being inspired by his style and dressing that way. That could totally not have any deeper meaning. I want to be very clear about that. It could be about some romantic lost flame, or it could be something completely different. Maybe he did have secret kids and he's adopted them with Kai. I'm joking. But yeah, no, but for real. This really could be about anything, so please take what I say with a grain of salt. But I am very intrigued with where this is going, and that is how I connected those three aspects: the two kids, Never Gonna Dance Again, and the images. And to me, that is the way that they make the most sense in terms of connections, because otherwise, two kids doesn't make any sense with sexy images, so I don't get that. But anyway, I hope you guys, don't hate me for this theory, and you guys will subscribe if you like SHINee and Taemin. And yeah, this is actually the first video I've directly made about SHINee. I did do a track review, not of SHINee song, but of 8 by IU, and I briefly mentioned some stuff there. I also did a video where I talked about Taemin when he was struggling back in March. But overall, I haven't really made that many videos about SHINee. So this is just my theory for the comeback. I will be reacting to it when it comes out, so stay tuned for that. I have an Ob poster behind me. I'm going to review that album, so yeah. Anyway, I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.